हेलो दोस्तों, जैसे आपको पता है कि हमूराबी टैबलेट एक कार्यक्रम करता है एक्सेलेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन टू लीगल प्रोफेशन। इसमें हम सीनियर एडवोकेट्स को मिलते हैं, उनसे जानकारी लेते हैं कि किस तरह का एक 50-60 बरस पहले कोर्ट चलता था, कोर्ट की सिस्टम क्या थी, उस टाइम का एजुकेशन कैसे था, एक पूरा कोर्ट का माहौल, बार और बेंच के रिलेशन, सीनियर जूनियर के रिलेशन, ट्रायल होती तो कैसे होती। तो उसी सिलसिले में आज हम आए हैं बोरीवली कोर्ट के एक सीनियर एडवोकेट चंद्रकांत चितरिया साहब के पास, प्रैक्टिसिंग सिंस 1962। तो चितलिया सर, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत।
थैंक यू
कि आपने हमें समय दिया और आप हमें जानकारी देंगे।
थैंक यू
तो प्रोग्राम शुरू होने के पहले ये हमारी तरफ से एक छोटा सा मोमेंटो है सर। आप सर बैठिए दीजिए और एक आशीर्वाद दीजिए।
थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू।
तो अभी हम कार्यक्रम की शुरुआत करते हैं। हाउ डिड यू जॉइन द लीगल प्रोफेशन?
This question is a $1 million question, according to me.
अच्छा,
Every lawyer, before joining legal profession, there should be introspection of themselves, asking why I am joining this profession. Whether I wanted to make money or whether I am joining this profession for the purpose of status. So in my case, in the year 1950, 60, 60, 70, the profession of advocate and doctors were considered as noble profession.
Oh.
And there was highest respect for advocates and doctors in the society. Moreover, our national leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Mahatma Gandhi, all were from legal profession. So this prompted me to join legal profession.
Okay. Anybody was lawyer from your family?
In fact, nobody was there in legal profession in my family. All my family members, they are businessmen.
Okay.
Only I am a lawyer. Even my sons, they are engineers. My
Okay.
grandsons, they are also in America doing MS after doing. So nobody, nobody followed me, nobody joined my profession.
So you are from which college? You did your law from which college?
I passed law college from Government Law College.
Okay.
That was in the year 1962 I passed, and then immediately Sanad was obtained.
Who were your professors? Do you recollect?
Very nice professor. First of all, our principal was Tope.
Okay.
Tope was considered as authority in Hindu law,
Okay.
towering personality, and very well versed in Sanskrit,
Okay.
and about maintaining discipline in college. He will take round while class is going on,
Okay.
and if he will found anybody loitering in lobby, he will seize his identity card and will call in my office.
He was a very strict person.
Very strict, very strict. And then thereafter, another professor who was taking our private international law was Rangnath Rao.
Okay.
Very fine lecture he was giving. He was never taking roll call. He was sure that my lecture is so much interesting that there will be full strength in the class.
Okay.
So he was never taking roll call. Moreover, after finishing one topic, he had a habit. He will say, I believe everybody has followed me, though it is very difficult to believe. Then thereafter another was Mr. Setna. He was taking our jurisprudence.
Okay.
And it was little bit bothering subject, and he was taking roll call,
Okay.
but keeping his head down. He will take roll call, there will be strength of hardly 20 students, but presence will be of 40 students on roll. people were giving presents by proxy.
Proxy.
Then Mrs. McCly,
Mhm.
she was taking our Mohammedan law.
Mhm.
So these were the professors, and all were very well versed in law,
Mhm.
and we taught very nice all the intricacy of law and everything.
Sir, today you see today there are mute courts and all that thing. Were they there at your time, sir?
In fact, there was no moot court, but they will invite some high court judges or some other legal dignitaries,
Mhm.
and they will fix one debate on particular subject,
Okay.
and there will be some people favoring that subject and some people opposing that subject.
Okay.
Like that debate was there,
Mhm.
but this moot court concept was not there
Not
at
there.
that time.
Sir, any interesting incidents you remember about your law college?
About law college, the building is situated just near Chhattisgarh station.
Hmm.
Very nice building, and particularly library of that building is on second floor,
Hmm.
and windows are facing towards Marine Drive.
Hmm.
If we will sit with particular subject taking seat near by the window, there will be wind from Marine Drive, and we will enjoy that reading that. And about the particular, there is nothing about.
Okay. Sir, after you finish your law degree, आपने किसको ज्वाइन किया एज ए सीनियर?
You know, in those days, I was reading Swami Vivekananda,
ओके.
and one of the quotation of Swami Vivekananda was that your target should be sky.
हम्म.
At least you will reach to the top of tree.
हम्म.
So I told you, one day I was just sitting by the near the window of the library. I was reading private international law,
ओके.
and there is one topic, Calvo clause.
हम्म.
Calvo clause, that is, if the ship is having flag of France
हम्म.
and murder of British citizen is committed by German,
हम्म.
and then in those days it was a dilemma, the jurisdiction of which country will be applicable.
ओके.
So Aristotle, author Calvo, he found a principle, which jurisdiction of which country will be applicable. So I was reading that topic, sitting by the window, and I had a dream that I should do practice in international court in Hague.
ओके.
So after finishing my law, then I realized for practicing in international law, your client should be state and nations,
हम्म.
because there the dispute will be decided by nation and nation.
यस.
So then I come down to Supreme Court, that I should practice in Supreme Court. But there in Supreme Court, the rule was at that time, I don't know whether at this time also rule is there, that you should have minimum practice of 10 years, and you should have office within the vicinity of Supreme Court.
ओके.
So came down to High Court.
ओके.
From Supreme Court to came down to High Court. So I joined Mr. K. Singhvi
ओके.
for this, and then I started practice with him.
Okay. So then, how did you flow from High Court to coming to Borivali Court?
That I am coming.
Hmm.
Now you see, just as a junior, moving with, in those days there was a gown.
Hmm.
You were supposed to put gown in small cause court, city civil court, high court.
Okay.
So taking all the briefs of senior from small cause court, running to city civil court, sometime in a bus, sometime in a taxi, sometime to High Court. And then after finishing the work, we people, we friends were sitting in small court library.
Okay.
After about 2 years, I was having my own office in 3rd Bhoivada.
Okay.
So my seniors had advised me that though you are practicing here in these centers, but whenever any client comes to you with any work, never say no.
Okay.
So in my office, one businessman, he came with charge sheet of 411. Now I never intended, never attended this magistrate court, not knowing any criminal trial, not knowing what is 411, but I accepted that day. The date was something after about 2 weeks. So I thought I should attend Mazgaon court. It was a jurisdiction of Mazgaon court. I should attend there how the proceedings are going on. So one day when I was going to that magistrate Chenoy's court, one person met me and asked me, "Sir, will you get my warrant cancelled?" That also I was not knowing, but I said, "Yes, I will do it." So he gave me, it was in municipal case warrant was issued, and he gave me that his summons, and it was a lunch hours. I went to interpreter who was sitting just down below. So I asked him that whether warrant can be cancelled in this matter. Will you please guide me? So he realized that this is a junior advocate. He had gone through the board file, and then he told me that there is no warrant. But first of all, you go and collect your fees from your client.
Okay.
And then you send him to me. I will tell him your warrant is cancelled. So I went outside. I asked him pay rupees 100. In those days, 100 rupees was equivalent to more than 1,000.
Oh.
So immediately he paid, and I told him that you go and see that clerk, warrant is cancelled. Likewise, whenever I used to go to Mazgaon court, I was getting some work and good payment. So I thought this is a cash crop. Civil court, one time you are getting fee and then go on doing this thing, that thing. Then after some progress is made, then you can demand. So gradually, I started taking criminal cases of Borivali court, and then I confined to Borivali center.
So, approximately in which year you came to Borivali court, sir? Do you remember that?
In fact, after about 2-3 years, 64, 65, I was confined to this court. Though I was going there, whatever work pending to finish those work, but then ultimately my home court was Borivali court.
How was Borivali court at that point of time, say in 1965? How was it? How was it functioning? What was there?
In those days, the procedure was, first of all, magistrate, they will take attestation of affidavit.
Okay.
There were no notaries.
Okay.
Notaries were only those retired solicitors or some retired senior people only. They were doing notary work honorary.
Okay.
They were not supposed to demand any fees for that.
Okay.
And only they were keeping one box. If the client wants to drop something in the box, then he can drop that amount that he will give for donation.
Okay.
In those days, there was no notary. So, first of all, magistrates, they were taking attestation of affidavit, then applications, cancellation of warrant and surety, this thing, that thing. And about filing of the fresh cases, there was no verification in the provincial town of Mumbai, Madras, Calcutta.
Okay.
This verification introduced only in the amendment of CRPC in 1973. So we used to give complaint to the interpreter. The learned magistrate will go through the complaint. Sometime if he will get time, well and good. Otherwise, he will go through the complaint in lunch hours. Then at 3, if he will go through and find that the case is made out, he will give process immediately. There is no. But if he will find something, then he will ask the advocate to address, make your submission.
Okay.
And if he is satisfied by the submission, process will be issued.
Okay.
So these were the functions, and moreover, in those times, Borivali Center was having jurisdiction of the cases under Prevention of Food Adulteration Act,
Okay.
jurisdiction under SITA, Suppression of Immoral Traffic Act, jurisdiction of Essential Commodity Act, then Prohibition Act, lot of litigation, then Municipal Act and IPC.
Okay.
These were the cases, and though all these things were there, the work was going on quite smoothly and politely.
Sir, how many advocates were there in bar at that point of time?
You see, in those days, strength of the advocate was 20 on roll.
Okay. On roll 20.
Yes, entire bar strength was 20 lawyers. Out of 20 lawyers, 12, 13 lawyers were regularly attending the court.
Okay.
Yes, and our president, just like President of Russia, Mr. Putnik, who is our president for Russia, like that we were having ever-time president, Mr. Kurulkar.
Okay.
One annual general meeting will be called in a year. There will be tea, biscuit, and then Mr. Kurulkar is president, Mr. So and so is secretary. Like that was the,
Over.
yes.
Where was the location of court? It was exactly where today our court is.
You see, in those days, the location of the court was considered one of the best building in suburb, surrounding with greenery of trees. Then only 2 courts, very 24 court and 26 court. Now these 2 courts are divided and made into 2, and it is congested. Otherwise, it was a very big court, 2 courts only. Then at present, 43rd court is sitting. There, typist people were sitting.
Okay.
And 17th court is sitting. There was the residence of watchman, gardener,
Okay.
like that. And prosecutor room was the same. So that was the location of the building, and we were having sufficient light and ventilation of in all the court, all big windows. And
Sir, which was your first trial? When you
it is very interesting. You see, I told you that in those days we were having jurisdiction of municipal work. In municipal, under Municipal Act, there was no provision for giving imprisonment.
Okay.
Suppose if your case goes against you, there will be fine. So we were encouraged to proceed with the case, have cross-examination with boldly, and proceed with the matter. So first case that I was having a municipal case, and there the person was prosecuted for under section 394 of breach of license condition under the Municipal Corporation Act. I appeared, matter was called out. In these days, the magistrate was very strict. If he will say, sir, I wanted to make submission and yours has imposed fine, he will say, go to High Court. So he was very strict. Then, first of all, they will examine inspector. Inspector was examined. He asked me, yes, Mr. Cross-examination. I did not ask anything.
Okay.
So, immediately, the case was closed and he called steno and asked me, yes, you argue. He thought that he had not done any cross-examination and it is a question of conviction. He called steno was sitting. He asked me argument. Your Worship, I am prosecuted for breach of conditions of license. But where the witness has produced that copy of the license having condition, if conditions are not there on record, then question of breach of condition arises. Immediately he appreciated and delivered judgment of acquittal. So this was the first trial, and that was the in our junior days. This type of cases were there, and we had a good opportunity of doing examination and argument and everything.
Okay. Sir, you are being very well known in our Borivali court, and even other people also know you as an excellent trial lawyer. So, any interesting trial which you remember, something interesting had happened in that particular trial which you still remember that trial?
You see, in fact, now during the period of my practice, there were several trial of much more importance, but some trials are such, some judgments are done that by name we cannot. Suppose matrimonial matter is there, the lady is already settled in her life and it will be disturbed.
We don't want
like
names,
that, yes.
only-
So only those trials wherein we can. One trial that I can remember very well is that one Mr. Ghosh, he was having Royal Challenge Hotel, and at the same time he was having security guard association. He was providing security guards. So here at present in Kandivali, Charkov, Mahavir Nagar colony is constructed. It was a huge open land. One day this Mr. Ghosh, with truckload of security guards, came on that open land and posted every corner his security guard. Then matter was reported to the police and I filed 145 proceeding. In 145 proceeding, we shall have to join all the person interested who are having record of this land. One person who was having this land in his name was Dipchand Gardi.
Okay.
Dipchand Gardi is a big name, having various land in Bombay in his land, in his name. Dipchand Gardi, then one D'Souza, then about 12, 13 Kur. So 145 proceeding was filed, notice was issued to all the respondents. To face this proceeding, in those days all the luminaries of legal profession by name, Barrister Randeep Patel,
Okay.
Firoz Vakil, Amit Desai, all these people, they came here at Borivali in 34th Court to oppose this proceeding. So, naturally all the 18 people were not served. Naturally, till all the people are served, court will proceed further than thereafter. 2-3 dates were given. Then Rajni Patel, Barrister Rajni Patel, by his side, Firoz Vakil was sitting. So he told him, Firoz, why we should come here? Let us take it to High Court. And then matter was taken to the High Court, and then ultimately it was settled in our favor.
Okay.
So that is one interesting matter. And another one, may I give another matter? Another matter, one Mr. John White William was having a huge industrial estate at Malad. And he married about 8 to 9 ladies.
Okay.
He will marry after 2-3 years, he will give up that lady. So similarly, one Gulroj Banu, Mohammedan, that William converted to Mohammedan and married with her. Similarly, she was also driven away, and she filed maintenance proceeding under 125. So I filed a written statement, and in the written statement, my contention was that I have already given talaq, and the same is conveyed along with mahr. So in the written statement also same was repeated. I am pronouncing talaq and ready to give mahr. But in spite of that, magistrate granted maintenance under 125. Then Mr. Hatangdi, who retired as a city civil judge, city civil and sessions judge, he appeared, and then ultimately matter reached up to Supreme Court.
Okay.
And Supreme Court upheld my contention and settled the law about if the talaq is mentioned in the written statement, pronounce the talaq, it amounts to talaq and it amounts to conveyance.
Oh, that's a great thing to happen.
Yes.
Sir, at that time, how was the relation between bar and bench?
Bar and bench relations were very much cordial. There was no talk of any corruption in judiciary. People were never making any allegations against judicial magistrate. And if somebody will talk about it, advocates will be surprised that how that thing happened. No, it will not happen. So magistrates were not hesitating in mixing with us, in attending bar room, in attending our family function, in attending, joining picnic with us. And there also we used to do some jokes also. And I will tell you about Magistrate Merchant. In those days, there was no holiday court and Sunday court. If the person is arrested on Saturday morning, then we shall have to move the magistrate in charge of urgent bail matters. So in those days I was junior, I used to go for this urgent bail. If I go to the house of Mr. Merchant, he will never act with us that he is a magistrate and I am lawyer and address. He will sit by the side on the sofa with us. First of all, he will talk with us, how are you, how your practice is going on, how the family members. And then he will say, yes, you have brought endorsement from the police, and then immediately he will give the order. Like that, one magistrate, Mr. Sinde, always smiling, even giving, at the time of giving conviction also, to the accused, he will give sentence with smiling. And whenever he will find free himself, then he will come to the door of bar room and he will say, may I come in? Will come with us, he will sit among with the advocate, he will chit chat with advocates, like that it was there. So this was the thing, quite cordial atmosphere, and magistrate also helping juniors,
A very healthy atmosphere.
healthy atmosphere.
Sir, how were juniors being treated in those days? I am asking, when you were junior and all that, how was the attitude of court towards the juniors?
About juniors, about myself, I will tell you the instance how what happened. Immediately after joining my senior, within a week, I was taken to City Civil Court. In those days, there were several unauthorized constructions, stable, chal, and municipal corporation used to give notice under 354. Advocates, they will file a suit and ask for interim injunction for stay of the execution of notice. And the learned judge, he will take this notice of motion in chamber at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
So after about a week, I was taken to City Civil Court, and Tuljapurkar was the judge.
Okay.
Subsequently, he was elevated to Supreme Court judge.
Court.
Very strict judge. Even senior people were also little bit hesitate to make proper submission before him. And so I was taken to City Civil Court. My senior handed over brief to me and go in the chamber when the matter was called out. I told him, sir, I have not gone through the papers, I don't want to go. So I went inside the chamber. Learned judge, he was going through the this plaint and marking wherever that he, and while doing so, keeping his head down, he asked me where you have challenged notice. Now I was not knowing, I did not speak anything. Then where you have given description of the structure, immediately. Then also I did not give any. So he raised his head and saw towards me, looking that he is a junior. Interim injunction granted in terms of Prat B. So this, in this way, the judges were treating junior.
Okay.
The magistrates were treating junior. Suppose some matter is of only procedural nature, only procedure is to be going through, result is not that much. And junior is asking, sir, one date may be given, my senior is coming, now proceed with the case. Do cross-examination. So otherwise argue also, you argue, do the argue. So there was the intention was that if the person is not thrown in water, he will not know swimming. So that was the, and about junior also, senior advocate also, they were treating us very nicely. One notice of motion in City Civil Court was dismissed. I was little bit late, and then I asked somebody how to restore it. So my opponent was senior lawyer. Subsequently, he became mayor of Bombay. So I went to him to take his no objection for restoration.
Okay.
So I submitted PCP for restoration. He told me that you have taken my cost, you have asked your client to pay. So, no, I have not. Your client is there. Collect 75 rupees. In those days, 75 rupees was the cost. Collect 75 rupees for my cost. I collected, keep it in your pocket, no objection.
Oh.
So, senior people, they were quite helping and encouraging the juniors that they should come up.
Okay. Sir, now over a years, you are 60 years, you are practicing in this profession. How do you see this profession? What changes have happened over the years? Like 60 years prior and now after entire 60 years of practice. What do you feel the profession has changed, texture has changed, what has changed, something has changed in this?
In fact, prior to 1973, 73 amendment took place in CRPC. This provision of verification was not there in the town of Mumbai, Madras and Calcutta. So this verification, it is only ornamental section. You file the complaint, for verification take dates and dates and dates. Then the learned magistrate, when he will get time, he will record verification, and that also at length he will record verification. In this process, time consumed will be more than 9, 10, 11 months only for recording verification. Then after recording verification, it will be kept for argument, submission. Then ultimately matter will be sent to the police under 20T for inquiry. Inquiry report will be submitted after about 1.5 years, 2 years. Very rare cases I have seen that the magistrate immediately after recording verification, if he doesn't find any merit, dismiss it or immediately due process. Always 202 like that. So time is consumed about nearly about 2.5 or 3 years only for petty matters in these ornamental sections of recording verification. So that should be dispensed with. Verification should not be done, and 200 section becomes only a ornamental section. So that is one thing. And about some more sections should be made compoundable, where the offence is not affecting any interest of the society and it is of personal nature. Those offences should be made compoundable. If it is not compoundable, then naturally court shall have to go through the entire procedure for disposal of the case. That is also speedy disposal of this type of cases. And so far possible, this, though they have enacted provision about no revision about interim orders, but then after certain judgments, the definition of interim order is widened. And nowadays each and every order is become revisionable and people are filing. Though the matter will reach for argument in trial court, and if the person doesn't want to have argument and judgment by the particular judge, he will give frivolous application recalling the witness. His application naturally bound to be rejected, he will file revision. And revision will be disposed of after 2 years, 3 years, and matter will remain pending here. So that also definition of interim order should be restricted to the extent that any order passed till final disposal of the case amounts to interim order and no revision should be filed.
Okay. One last question. What would you say, what would you guide the young lawyers and tell them what they should do to be a good and a renowned lawyer like you? What should be it?
Now, first of all, for successful lawyer, dress and address in court. You should be well dressed, and about address also. You should make your submission with cool and quietly, and you should be assertive about it. That is one thing about that. Secondly, you never make any promise to your client. If you will give promise for particular result, it will create tension. Never try to buy opposite advocate, prosecutor, witness or judicial magistrate. It amounts to no confidence against your advocacy. if you will try to buy, you will never do hard work on your brief and master the facts of your brief. And then, if I say, in every walks of life, if he wants to have success in any field, he should follow the preaching of Gita, Bhagavad Gita. That preaching is Karma Yogi. Karma Yogi means that whatever karma is there, your responsibility, वो निष्ठापूर्वक करो, दक्षपूर्वक करो, कोई राग द्वेष नहीं ऐसा करो वो कर्म, और ईश्वर को समर्पित करके करो जिससे कुछ गलत आप नहीं करेंगे. एंड वेन एवर एनी रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट कर्म in our cases also, suppose whatever result is there, accept it gracefully as a prasad of God. जिससे आपको कोई राग द्वेष नहीं होगा, आपको कोई हर्ष शौक नहीं होगा. So that is also one should follow in legal practice also. In every walks of life, this type of principle should be followed. Yagnesh father, Mahesh Bhai, he was Karma Yogi.
Okay.
He was master of morning call, doing work sincerely, and he was one of Karma Yogi.
Okay. चितलिया सर, we are very very thankful to you कि आपने आपका समय दिया, और and you told us it's really, you know, a very interesting talk, because the things which you have told about that 75 rupees wala kissa jo aapne bola, that other side senior cooperated. So these are all things which should be known to the current lawyers.
Right.
Because behind this, doing this, we have a intention that this has an archival value. मतलब आपका ये जो नॉलेज गया, आपके जो 60 साल का आपने बताया, इसकी एक आर्काइवल वैल्यू है. आने वाले पीढ़ी को पता चला कि ओके, इस तरह के भी एडवोकेट्स थे, ऐसे भी होता था. तो आई एम वेरी मच थैंकफुल टू यू कि आपने समय दिया. बहुत बहुत
थैंक यू वेरी मच.